Valeska asked me if I would moderate that panel, and we came up with the title, "The Power of Coaching in Education." That's a huge passion of mine. I've been a journalist for about 30 years and in academia for about 17 when I moved from Washington, D.C. to South Florida. So I taught at FIU, and now I'm at Nova, Southeastern University, directing the student media, the newspaper, radio, and TV there. And when I was at FIU, I realized the power of coaching in education and how absolutely important it is for students to really learn about themselves and how can they grow and succeed fully, and not just learn how to write a lead in the case of news writing and journalism. So when we talked about, we were wondering, Valeska and I were thinking about, who should we invite for the panel? And so we thought about different people and different things. And then I met with Rachel and Lynne, and I'll talk about them in a sec, or let them talk about themselves. And then it was absolutely clear to me that we should not have anyone else but talk about Scholar Career Coaching, because what they're doing is absolutely amazing, and it truly reflects the power of coaching in education. So we'll have here in the panel today Rachel, who is the mentoring program manager at Scholar Career Coaching. We have Jorge Bastos, who is our own ICF certified coach and a mentor at Scholar Career Coaching. We have Anamaria Pedraza, who is a mentee. She is currently a junior at Florida International University, majoring in psychology and health and applied sciences, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have the director, executive director, Lynne, who is the founder of this incredible nonprofit. So why don't we start with Rachel? Do you want to briefly introduce yourself, please? You're muted.
Hi, I'm Rachel Bonnaig, the mentoring program manager. I've been with Scholar Career for coming up on 2 years. And previously, I have been working with youth in either education or in a youth recreation facility. So I have over about 20 plus years experience working with students from pre-K till the college age.
George?
Yes, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. I am a leadership coach. I'm a ICF PCC. I work with senior leaders across all industries, international, several countries. And my special focus on developing minorities. So they help them to get to more senior positions, etc. Most directors and vice presidents. I'm also a board member and a mentor at the Scholar Career Coaching, and we're going to talk more about that. And finally, I work with the Door Institute at Rice University, and I coach MBA students, because the objective of the Door Institute is to, MBA students get very high level training in strategy, accounting, finance, marketing, everything they don't get on leadership. So the objective there is to help the future leaders to help to get more leadership capabilities. So thank you, Chris.
No, thank you, Anamaria.
Hi, everyone.
So we heard you are in India. Are you in India or you're here?
No,
are you in the US?
Yeah, I leave tomorrow.
All right. Okay.
So hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Anamaria Pedraza. I am currently a junior at Florida International University. Just like Chris mentioned, I'm majoring in both psychology and health and applied sciences. And I had the wonderful privilege of being mentored by Miss Lynne and George and a couple other mentors from Scholar CC throughout my high school career. And now on to undergrad. I continue to have the support for Scholar CC and Miss Lynne, which has been really life-changing for me as an undergraduate student.
Thank you so much. So Lynne Gassant is the founder and the heart and soul of this amazing nonprofit that's just giving so much to our community. So Lynne, you came to the United States from Haiti, right? When you were about 13, 14, had to quickly learn to navigate the US public school system as we spoke, and you not only survived but thrived. So what made you do it? What was it that made you at such a young age turn a difficult, at least challenging experience as an immigrant growing up in public housing into this positive and motivational path? Tell us.
Good morning, good afternoon, not even good morning anymore. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for allowing Scholars CC to be a part of ICF South Florida and ICF Global in General Week. You know, what made me start, I think it really started out with having someone who made a difference in my life throughout my high school year. I've always talked about Miss Kessler. You know, she was that an official mentor, because I didn't know what a mentor was at the time, where she was that person really there to guide me in a path where I was able to achieve you know, my academic and career success. Of course, I had other people along the way as well too, but I think kind of going back really is I remember the struggle as well, and being around youth at my church at the time, kind of growing up, and parents, you know, having their you know, their kids looking up to me and them reaching out really, and I just wanted to help out. You know, it's something I would, because I think it always start, if you have the passion and you want to give back, you just do it. And sometimes the passion turned into something bigger. I did not have a nonprofit background per se. My undergrad degree in public management is technically in government, and also evolve around nonprofit as well too. And I was like, oh, this will never be me. So I just did this class to pass. But really, I think it's just the desire of making a difference and really being put in a path where I can help other young students, you know, to, I guess, achieve their academic and career success. So I can talk for days. So I'm trying to like, I'm training myself this morning.
You're amazing.
Like, answer the question, Lynne, because I can go on. At least that's what George says. Like, but you can go on.
So the Scholar Career Coaching, Lynne, is celebrating this year a decade of success, right? With the 10th Annual Scholarship Awards luncheon on June 11th. Your nonprofit, as I understand, has helped about 1,000 students. You have personally been very involved as a mentor to Anna. So what was different about her for her to be chosen to be with us here today?
You know, I think Anna had a mentor, but Anna would always reach out to me. Hey, Miss Lynne, I'll get text messages, I'll get phone calls. I'm like, I know you have a mentor. I know I'm going to speak to my mentor, but I just want to ask you this question. You know, I love her personality, but Anna was very engaged, but also knew what she wanted from the beginning. She's like, I know I want to get here. I just need the support and the guidance. And I want you to match me with a mentor who can really help me get there. Because a lot of times when you match a student with a mentor, you know, the engagement, it has to be both ways. And it could sometimes feel like pulling teeth, but when you connect with a mentee or a student where these are my goals and I know what I want to do, I'm just not sure how to get there. You know, can you help me? You know, it's different because then you're putting in effort and you say, go try this, and they go try it and they come back with results. And, you know, in essence, you're able to see the progress. She's very driven. She's very outgoing. Not only that, it's just, I think every time I speak to Anna, if she said she's going to do something, the next time I see Anna, it's actually done or she's doing it, you know? So I think it was one of and also the fact that she kept in contact, you know, I'm always trying to keep in contact with alumni, and sometimes it's really hard to keep up, stay in contact. And I have a few that I'm really in contact with because they're always reaching out. They're always reaching out to make sure, hey, I'm here. And Anna really has been that really great example of, you know, an alumni and a student who's driven. She's first generation, first in her family to go to college, but, you know, define all odds. And she just really have high goals and dreams that she wants to achieve. And I don't want to take credit. I always say that I don't want to take credit for her hard work and efforts. She put in that work. She put in that effort. And but she will be calling me and texting me like late at night, 11 o'clock at nighttime, even last night, you know, it's like, hey, Miss Lynn, just checking in. And we're like kind of going back and speaking because, you know, if she's thinking about something and she want to run it for you, she'll definitely do that. And I'm really happy that I was able to play a small role in her academic journey and also her personal life. And I hope to continue to be that person.
That's, to me, it's fascinating because what I'm hearing is also not just the power of coaching in education, is also about the coachee. And it goes back to our concept as coaches that it's all the coachee is the one doing the work, not us, and it comes from them and their willingness, and that the power to succeed comes from inside, and that's beautiful to see. Anna, so what was the biggest impact of the Scholar Career Coaching in your academic success?
Yes, I would have to say that I started with Scholar and Career Coaching program probably about my junior year of high school, right when the pandemic hit. So obviously coming into college as a first generation student, you know, my parents migrated from Colombia when we were 5, and they weren't able to attend college. No one in my family has like never really done something like that, especially like here in the US. So kind of navigating that even through the pandemic was a little bit hard. And just like Ms. Lynn was mentioning, like I've always kind of had my goals in mind, but I just needed somebody to guide me and tell me like, you know, this is the path that you have to follow. You have to take these steps. So it was definitely a great blessing having Miss Lynn and everyone, you know, Nick, who was my mentor from junior to senior year in Scholar and Career Coaching. They helped guide me through what filling out a FAFSA was, because as a first generation student, I had no idea what that was. College essays, revising them, you know, going back, putting into effort. Like it was a long road, but I knew that the end goal and what they kept, you know, pushing me towards and encouraging me was that it was all going to be worth it in the end. So thankfully, after getting out of senior year, upon graduating, I was able to receive a few scholarships to be able to attend Florida International University, where I am now double majoring and I'm in my third year. But I would say that definitely, even now, like Ms. Lynn was mentioning, the impact that she has had on my life as a coach and as a mentor has been really impactful, because I can see part of myself in her, just because I can relate to what she went through, and she knows like what I'm going through, how I'm feeling, and she knows how she can better guide me to reach my goals. And this has been just such a blessing, and I feel like it's kind of planted like that little seed in me to also be willing to give back and, you know, help out other students, other first gen students that might not know how to navigate, you know, high school or like even beyond, like going through the college process. And even now, as I'm getting ready to, you know, step into my senior year and apply for my graduate program, they have been such an amazing help, just kind of still encouraging me and be like, you know, you got this, you're breaking boundaries, you're breaking things that, you know, nobody has ever done, and it's hard, but you're going to get there. So I would say definitely the impact that they've had on me, both like in my personal life and academically, has been something that you can't put a price on.
I love it. George will talk a little bit more about the difference between mentor and coach, but what I'm getting from you describing what it meant to you is that you got which is probably the best combination, and what Scholar Career Coaching brings to the table is that you had very clear, concrete advice from the mentor, and the self-confidence growth, and that came from Lynne, and that's beautiful. So I think those are the two angles that we need to succeed. So that's terrific. So Rachel, you deal directly with all volunteers, about 18 mentors from, I guess, 50 to 75 students every academic year, 2 programs, college and career readiness, and mentoring, right?
Yes.
So what made you come to Scholar Career Coaching? What was your calling to be working there?
Well, I've always been working in the, like I said, the education or entertainment realm, youth recreation as well. I have a background in music, but my father is a former Broward County school teacher. My mother was a teacher in Haiti. My parents come from Haiti. I'm first generation American, but not first gen college. So that experience of always having education in my life and always coaching students as a dance coach, I would coach them to, take an active role in not only in their education, but in what they'd like to do. And so I always wanted to parlay that into working with youth. And I feel that truly, in expanding on what Anamaria was saying, is that a lot of them, they have a plan, and they just need someone to assist them in guiding them to how to research, how to self-advocate for themselves, and how to apply what they're learning so that they can move forward with their plan. So that's always been my passion, to show that the students that you can achieve what you would like, just write it down, make a plan, and then execute.
Yeah, but what's interesting is that you could be doing, just like we look at your background, you could be doing absolutely anything. So what brings you to Scholar Career Coaching specifically?
Specifically with Scholar Career Coaching, I believe it was Lynne. When I'm like,
you better say Lynne.
I'm going to say Lynne. Yes, because when I read her story and her background, I thought it was amazing. And a lot of our lives intersected. She went to Boca High, and I was a coach at Boca High. And we didn't even know during the same time she was attending, she was a student there. And I said, did I allow you on the dance team? Did you try out for this? So having that, and then also Scholar Career Coaching is located on Lynn University. I coached at Lynn University. So to me, it was a destiny for us to work together. Mm-hmm. And I felt that it always aligned. And her passion behind wanting to help students matches mine. So definitely, I would say that she didn't even have to sell me on it, because just knowing her background, the history, and finding out even more information and finding out those serendipities, as I would say, it was kismet. It was meant to be.
Meant to be. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So part of your vision and goal, and one of the motivation to do this panel also is to for Scholar Career Coaching to have more ICF certified coaches involved as volunteers. And Jorge, as we would say in Portuguese, my Brazilian fellow, and along with Velasquez. So Jorge is both a mentor at the organization and ICF coach. So Jorge, what's the main difference you see of this 2 hats that you wear?
Well, I think coaching is coaching, no matter who you're talking to. And as people said before, 95% of the success in a coach engagement is on the coachee, right? Was described about Anamaria, she was engaged, she was involved, she was looking for, that's a perfect coachee. There are differences, yes. So, I work with senior executives, and they have their goals, and usually leaders, how to be more successful, how to lead better, and now be more inspirational and everything. When you come to high school students, it's a little bit different, because they have to develop some basic skills that they may not even be aware that they need. For example, how to participate in a meeting, how to show up in a camera so we don't just see the top of their head or anything like that. How to, advise when they're going to be late for a meeting or they're not going to show up at all because they just don't do it, right? So there are these basic skills, but the basics of coaching that, okay, I have a goal, right? I have to maybe change my behaviors, improve my behaviors, and establish the steps to us that goal are there. There is no difference. For instance, the student that I'm coaching, this year, the goal was to get into the Marines, right? And very happy to say that last week she got confirmation that she's getting to the Marines. She swore on Saturday, and she has a new life ahead of her. But there was a very clear goal, and we worked on the steps, what she needs to do, the physical part, the doctor part, the intellectual part, the exams. We worked towards all the goals and we reached there. And together with that, we did the basic skills, which is really important as well, right? You're going to go in a professional life. There are some basic etiquette, like I say, that you need to comply with, because otherwise you're going to be less successful. So to summarize, it is the same, but it's a little bit different. So thank you, Chris.
Again, it's what I'm hearing in this panel that's fascinating me. And from the panel before this one is the challenges that we're facing as coaches and educators, in my case as well, and as a journalist, is that we need to start thinking outside the box a little bit, because what I'm hearing is that mentorship and coaching combined bring the best for the coachee, possibly. And that's something that we don't consider as much, because as an ICF coach, the independence, the lack of involvement is really important. But then we heard from Dr. Clutterbuck that what one thing that differentiates between a robot and us is not the empathy, because a robot can have empathy but cannot have compassion. So just posing a challenge a little bit there in our panel today. So George, what I think compassion is part of the answer here, but so what makes you do what you do, and to make a difference, with kids like Anna and so many that you mentor and coach?
Yeah, the first, I'm a minority myself, right? I'm a Latin, and I worked here in the US for 20 years. And I was a very senior leader in the company I worked for, a very big company. And we had those coaching and mentoring programs for minorities, right? So how to help minorities. And I was passionate. That was the best part of my job, right? I worked with a lot of people. And then I said, okay, I'm going to leave corporate. I'm going to be a leadership coach, because I also believe leadership is very important, right? Especially nowadays, as you guys see what's going on, it's really important to have values, leadership values and everything. And I said, okay, I wanna work with minorities, and that's what I do most of the time, being professionals. And and I said, okay, we need to work with professionals, we need to work with MBA students or graduates, right? But I also need to work from high school, because as you said, it's an opportunity that we have to make a difference, right? The best news I received last week was that Antonia, my coachee, joined the Marines, because I know I have 1% of participation in that success, because again, she did everything she needed to do to get there, right? But it was the best moment in my week, or my, one of the best moments in my year, because I know she's going to be very successful there. She's going to, there was a dream that she had. And if you can have this small participation on that, right? What can be better in life? There's nothing better than that. The yes. Feeling and that's happiness, emotion.
Spoke the mentor. Absolutely, absolutely.
And one thing about difference about coach and mentor is that the coach is more about, we have a goal, like for instance, with Antonia, the goal was to get into the Marines, right? Let's work to get there, help her to get there. the mentor is many times a coach becomes a mentor. The mentor is a long-term relationship, right? I had a lot of mentors in my career, people that I, worked together for 10 years, 20 years, people with a lot of wisdom, and I'll go for them for looking for that wisdom, right, when they needed it. So usually what you see many times, a coach becomes a mentor because that goal has been reached, but I'll keep that relationship for a long, long time, and I'll use the guidance and the wisdom from that mentor, in that case, to help me, to face my life in a better way. I think that's, for me, that's the difference between a coach and a mentor. The coach is more time bound, right? There is a goal, we're going to reach the goal 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, whatever. The mentor is a long-term relationship based on mutual trust and that kind of thing.
So yes, thank you for that. So this is International Coaching Week. We have several coaches here, and Rachel, what are you looking for in a potential volunteer coach from ICF to be a mentor / coach, either or, and at Scholar Career Coaching? And we'll talk a little bit more. I'll let Misha or Valeska talk a little bit more about the main difference between coaching and mentorship for them, for ICF, not necessarily for us personally. So what are you looking for, Rachel?
The characteristics, I feel the top ones that I look for, especially I feel the first one is cultural humility. So being able to understand that even though you may share the same background as your mentee, you have different lived experiences. And if you don't share the same background, that you're open and receptive to hearing about how their culture or their background, how it affects them as they move through the world and as they move through life. The second one would be someone who's flexible. So not only with their time, but that they're flexible in being able to meet the mentee where they are, and then also helping them to grow. So being that silent coach and helping them grow. And then I would say the third one that I'm going to say is open-minded. So being able to apply their professional and their personal experience in an unbiased way to guide the mentee and to also raise questions for the mentee that the mentee themselves will answer.
That's beautiful. So I'm going to ask you to please put in the chat a couple of things, because we might know, a lot of people might know other people. So what you're looking for from students, how can students apply? Not, basically like some concrete information on how students can apply and how coaches can apply.
Okay.
If you could put it in the chat for, because I want to open for questions, and then we can get back to this a little bit. But I just like for you to please put in the chat how people can apply, both coaches and students, if you don't mind. And meanwhile, I just want to open for questions to the audience. I think there's a lot that we're talking here, and then we can get back to our conversation and discussion. So I'd like to open at this point because we don't have that much time, and then I want to let a minute to each person to give your conclude thoughts.
I put the website, the Scholar Career Coach website, in the chat as well if people want to get more information.
Yes, that sounds wonderful. So why don't we open to questions a little bit to coaches interested in coaching at Scholar Career Coaching as volunteers. I think we need more coaches like George, not just mentors. They have enough mentors. Of course, the more mentors they have, the more students they can have, but specifically coaches. Yeah, Misha.
Yes, first of all, I'd like to say that I am happy that this organization is in our wheelhouse now. We know about Scholar Career Coaching. So thank you, Valeska, for bringing this to us. And Lynn, I'm so happy to finally meet you virtually. First, you had the title of the company, so I wasn't sure which one was Lynn. But then,
I just realized I didn't change my name. I'm so sorry. Rachel could at least send me a message, but she didn't.
Something, right? Everybody's focused.
Focused. Yeah.
So I wonder what spaces are you guys in where, say, even for example, I'm on South Miami-Dade. Where are you? How do we identify where you are? So if I have other students that might be interested, how would they be able to find a program like you?
I think it's a great question. So currently we say we are supporting students in South Florida, but specifically we are more connected here in Palm Beach County. And also we're currently working with Deerfield Beach High School in Broward. So we have yet to hit the Miami-Dade area yet. It's coming. George is on top of it, but it's coming. But if a student is interested, the website, evidently they can actually, go on the website, but they can reach out to myself, Rachel. I mean, I don't say we're always accepting students. Right now, the match has been closed, but application will be open late July, early August as we prepare for the 2023-2024 academic year. So if you ever come across a student who's interested in our services, even if they are in Miami, we may not be able to bring the service to them, but they can participate in a virtual support because we are a hybrid platform where we work with students both in person and virtually. But what we are doing a lot or trying to be better at is that we go into the schools in working with the students, or have teachers specifically at certain high schools to work with the students as well. We just wouldn't be able to provide that in-person service, but they would still be able to be matched with a mentor and be a part of an SAT tutoring. So there's a lot of services they can still get from us virtually until we are able to come directly to the school and provide both that hybrid support.
I have a follow-up question. So what's the future of Scholar Career?
The dream is big. The dream is big, and I'm going to put it in the universe, as a short-term goal. But right now, once we are in the process of hiring a director of programs, which is really a big deal for us full-time, which would really allow me to step away from programming and put someone who can focus on that. And in essence, I can focus more on getting funding and support. But right now, I'm really hoping we'll get to the space where we can get a college and career center, right? There's a lot that I can say, but right now, that is one of our focus, because we currently at Lynn University, we're going on our 4th year there, love it, but really want that space, that friendly college, that space you just go and sit and you just talk to the guidance counselor, right? Because that's where the difference started for me in the College and Career Center at Boca High. And I want to be able to create that space where I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to the office. Oh, no, I'm going to the College and Career Center, where that's where we work and students can come in, mentors can come and use the space however it's needed. And I think right now, that's the short-term dream, but we do have a 3 to 5 year strategic goal. And if you would like to see that, email me. I will share that with you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Lynn. I tell you, I need to make a trip over at Lynn University because you guys are popping up more and more in our community. So
absolutely. Valeska.
So Lynn, I think it would be interesting to learn Scholar Career Coaching is celebrating 10 years now, right? So you've been active for 10 years, and over those 10 years, you've been helping students to get into college, students that wouldn't have that chance otherwise. How many students, I don't know if you have this number, how many students have Scholar Career Coach helped to get into college? On those 10
1,000, right, Lynn? That's why.
Well,
over the
okay.
10 years, about 1,000?
I want to be transparent because I'm not the type to throw numbers out just to throw numbers out. We have worked with about 1,000 students or over 1,000 students along the way. And within that, it's us either assisting them with their college and career pathway or college pathway or their career pathway or whatever goals that they have. So we have came in contact with over 1,000 students over that 10-year bracket. Some may say it's not enough, but I can say that it's one of those impacts that we are very proud, because just imagine being 23, starting a nonprofit just because you wanted to give back to the community. So we have really made some great stride over the years. So not to say it's 1,000 going to college, but these are the, we have made contact with at least 1,000 students over the years.
So you made a difference in 1,000 students'
Yes.
lives.
1,000, and imagine 1,000 students, that really means 1,000 families, right? Because as a student goes to college, how does that affect the real, the family and the future of the family? It's absolutely amazing. And I just want to make sure we're timely here. So Valeska, we're off at 12:50, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I think at this point, I'm gonna, and if we have any extra time, we can take another question, but at this point, I'm gonna ask each of the panelists to final words before I give the mic back to Valeska. George, I'm just anyone. I see you first on my little square here.
Okay, I can start here. So I think that, I think it's great to have Scholar Career Coaching with a potential partnership with ICF South Florida. I think that's a great opportunity for both sides, right? I see a lot of great future for Scholar Career Coaching. I think what Lynne mentioned is really important. She's a great fundraiser, right? That's her number one skill. She can get any money from anybody. I have been testimony of that, right? And having her managing programs, a waste of her great skills. So I have, now that we are hiring, a program director, she's going to be dedicated to funds. We already, our funds are already 5 times more than a few years ago. It's flying to the moon, and it's going to be even more. So, we're going to expand. We're going to need more coaches. We're going to have more students. It's a great opportunity to connect the two organizations.
Yeah, and if I just thank you, and I'm sorry, I just want to say that your long-term goal, Lynne, really aligns with our goal at ICF South Florida and our program in education, that we would like to have our foot in the door at a college. Mm-hmm. So there is potential for an amazing partnership to build that center somehow. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. And now that I'm at Nova, I'm actually totally in love with Nova's family culture. So you might want to try to schedule a meeting with the president of Nova, because NSU is really amazing. So I just have to throw that in. So Rachel, you want to go next? So Lynne will be last.
Definitely. The collaboration that if we were to partner with ICF would be beneficial. The students would be able to partake in the coach's skills, being able to create a clear plan and actionable steps to have that plan. And then it would benefit the mentors they would be able to give that knowledge to the student. And then also in turn, they're giving back to the community. So that's a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. Anamaria. Anna.
Yes. I just wanted to say, just thank everyone for the opportunity of having me on the panel. And once again, I know, just like Chris mentioned, some of you guys might be coaches, might be mentors, but I really encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, because you never know how impactful you can be in a student's life. And just like Chris said, like not even in their lives, but in their families' lives. And I think it's just such an amazing field that I would also love to get into once I graduate and go into grad school. So yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm sorry, it's each person had such little time to talk, but I think we got a lot out of each one of you. So Lynn?
I just want to say thank you. Really, I think Richard said, already said what we need to say in terms of mentor recruitment, and definitely join us. I promise you will not regret it. We are nice people. And once you come in, you don't
I love it.
Once you come in, you don't leave. You're gonna, we'll have you do something else, but we are really, I'm really thankful in terms of the partnership with ICF South Florida. And I'm looking forward to doing many more, because I've already made contact with many more, people in the team. So Misha's one of them, of course. So I'm really just kind of looking forward to see where this may take. And of course, Chris, I will reach out to you directly in reference to making an appointment with the president of Nova Southeastern University.
So I will.
And he will join Scholar CC somehow.
They have a beautiful campus.
Yeah. I've been there almost a year now, and it's the best university. Sorry if there's somebody from other universities here, but I am incredibly happy with the culture, with the way they handle things. So let me thanks everybody for being here. I'm going to give pass the mic to Valeska for any final concluding remarks here.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, the panel. Thank you, Chris, for facilitating this conversation. And Lynn, Rachel, George, Anamaria, thank you for being here. Your passion is, it goes beyond the screen, and I think that is amazing. Thank you very much. We will build this relationship, we'll build this partnership, because you are really making difference in kids, young people's life. First time George mentioned Scholar Career, for me, I said, what? Education, helping kids, and here I am, right? But your passion, Lynn, is what was made all this possible. And I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Valeska and George, so happy to have you a part of Scholar Career Coaching. You are making a difference, and you know it. And I'm looking forward to another amazing academic year.
We have a comment from Shakti. Your passion and message has come through clearly, and I look forward to connecting further and support this wonderful platform. Thank you for being here today.
All right. It seems like you already got a coach here.
Mission accomplished.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Valeska, for the opportunity, and Misha.
Thank you.